Hello, everybody, and welcome to Make It Weird. This show is changing my life in a lot of different ways, and I hope that it changes yours and opens your heart up a little bit to other people. That's what it's doing to me. I've been going through a time and I have not been liking people very much. I don't like the way people are behaving and mistreating, and that's just me. You know, that there are some people that need to be slapped in the face. I get it. But call right now. All right, here we go. Hey, who's this?
Hey, Terry, it's Rick.
Hey, Rick.
How you doing?
How do you handle criticism?
Take it for what it's worth, consider the source, and let it go.
It's a great way. I mean, what do you normally get criticized about?
The way I think, the way I act, and
Just
in
everything.
general.
Just everything.
I'm kind of a strange puppy myself. I mean,
Okay, what would you consider strange? What do you think that people think that is strange about you?
I think they all think I'm crazy, or I know I'm a little bit on the crazy side. I just
Give me an
I-
example.
good example. My poor girlfriend. She's, I'm always telling her stuff really off the wall, coming up with, she'll say something and I'll run with it someplace else, or I'll make up a good story for her. Making up good stories is the best. Getting her to believe it. She's a very gullible type of person. So,
And do you think she enjoys you kind of messing with her like that?
oh yeah. She wouldn't
Okay.
keep me around for 7 years otherwise, because
Well,
we're opposite in every other way.
yeah, that's good. I think my wife would kill me if I kept trying to set her up for things, because eventually you're going to be the boy that cried wolf. You know, you're going to be laying on the floor acting like you have a heart attack, and she's going to step over you thinking that you're just jerking her off.
Well, I'm not that bad, and when it does get that bad, I don't play it out very long. I let it go till I can. Yeah, I know she's fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and then I'll pull the trigger on her just to catch her expression. Watching her expression is priceless.
So we're talking about being weird or crazy and handling criticism. And you
Right?
said you get criticized over a lot of things. Are you working? Do you have a job?
Yes, I do. I run a small service business, so yeah, I get that all the time. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how, and I criticize a lot myself too. So yeah, I've learned to take it and give the criticism. So
What's your best advice for somebody who you feel like you need to give some criticism? Because I have the same problem in my job. I if I have to put on my manager hat on the Lex and Terry show, it usually comes with some sort of criticism involved, and either the people that I work with don't take it well, or which I don't believe that that's true. I believe that it's the way that I deliver it. So help me out with delivering some criticism, because I'm not really
yeah,
good at it.
neither am I, and I've been corrected on. Your point would be taken a lot better if you just came across a little bit different instead of job out. I said, well, yeah. Well, you done made me mad because I expected certain things out of you, and you didn't perform. And now I'm mad. I'm criticizing, and I'm telling you exactly what I think. And I normally don't hold back very well.
Yeah.
I'm good about giving good critical advice, but not being abusive about it.
Yeah, that's the point. It's really hard, and I have a hard time getting my vision across to people.
Yes. Yes.
And not that my vision is right or anything, but if you're the person in charge, people need to kind of follow your vision. And
Exactly.
I've been really, really bad at it. That's a place that I really need to improve on in my life. And I think that if I could get a little better at it, that things would just be a lot better. And I try. Trust me, I put a lot of work into trying to match everybody that I need to help out or need to criticize, match their personality. How does this person doesn't take this well? This person doesn't like being confronted. This person needs a compliment first. This person, and I'm always wrong. Just always wrong.
There's an art in telling people something and doing it nicely. When
Yeah.
you can come across very nicely and or come at it from a completely different point of view of what they're trying to point out, and doing a real nice way. I ran into a friend or a guy a couple, 3 or 4 weeks ago, guy named, he is a DJ Heck Yeah. He's out of South Carolina. And we were talking, and he had the most positive attitude ever. I mean, people come up with negative stuff, and somehow he would turn it around and make it positive. And I just watched him with an amazement how he constantly did that. And my question was to him, does anything make you mad? He goes, no, I don't let stuff make me mad. It wastes too much time, too much energy.
And you know what? He's 100% right. That's, you know, I have that that Irish blood in me, where where it's kind of like, what's the fight, and you know, where's the fight, and what's it about? I'm joining, but I've worked really hard on it over the past, and this show here, I believe, is really helping me. Like I said at the start, it's really making me like people a lot more. I mean, we're not separated on this show by religion. We're not separated by politics. We're not separated by anything like that. We're just trying to have a really good conversation, you know, and I love this. I'm having a real good time, but I'm getting critics, you know, out there about it. But most of the things, people are saying very kind things about this idea of this show. So I really appreciate everybody who's doing that. But I also can handle some criticism. I do want to know how to improve this show. So if anybody's out there that has any ideas or anything like that, but I just remember this before you criticize. I love doing this show live. And I love where anything could happen. I love the fact that I didn't have the phone screen on there and I looked like a fool for a while. I loved it. So I mean, that's what I love a lot. So
it just takes you back to roots, Terry, you know, with the Alexis Terry show. It was a call-in radio show for the longest time, and the listeners made the show. You never knew what you were going to get when you turned on Lex. And the same way with this show.
Yeah,
100%. It's live, it's spontaneous, and it's political.
Yeah.
You know, it's the political turmoil in this world. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't either.
They want to amongst themselves, and I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. You know, let's find something else to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I just love connecting with people. I mean, I see people sitting at a coffee shop, and I see friends meeting there for an afternoon, or I see people smiling. And this is where I feel like I'm getting old, and I got to get my testosterone checked, because it really touches me hard. I sit there and I go, God, good for them. I mean, and I start thinking about the phone calls that they made to meet at the coffee shop at a certain time, and how they looked forward to seeing their friends. And I love seeing when they walk up and they hug each other and see how their day's going. I don't know what it is about that touches me so much. I don't know what's happening with me, man. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, you probably need to get it out a little bit.
All right. Well, Rick, I appreciate you calling again and giving this a shot, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate you, bud.
All right. Yeah, get your number back up there. We'll call in. They'll call in, I promise.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right. So, yes, the phone number will go back up. These names are, and we're getting a lot of the same callers, by the way, which I don't have a problem with. It takes a certain person to be able to be challenged and want to be surprised by a question. And I would be one of those people. Let's go here. Hold on one second. Hold on a second here. Hi, who's this?
Terry?
Yes, hello.
It's Kami. I'm calling to make it weird.
This is about to change, people. Let me take this phone number down, because it's about to get serious. Psychic Kami calling in. This is great.
This is great.
Hold on. Let me get rid of this phone number here. I need to concentrate with your ass. All right. All right, here we go. This is kind of I think this is a pretty simple question for you, but I wanted to ask it today anyway, because it's something I've been thinking a lot. Do you really love yourself?
Oh, man. That's a really great question. I think I love aspects of myself. What about you?
I have moments where I do, but I tend to let myself down every single day.
Every day?
Every day.
Ouch.
Every single day. I set pretty high standards for myself in every aspect of my life. I get mad if I eat something that's not really healthy for me, which I do a lot. I get mad if I don't go to the gym. I get mad if I'm not paying attention when Sherry's talking. I don't like letting people down, and that really affects me a lot. And I feel like I'm letting people down all the time.
Well, it's funny. So I was listening to the beginning of the show, and you were talking about criticism and how to give it. And I was thinking about it myself. And I don't get a lot of criticism, but I self-criticize a ton. And it sounds like you might do the same.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, I've got a vision, and I have a vision for the person I want to be. And I always have. And I know that there's people, and maybe you could help me out with this. I know there's people out there that think you just be yourself, but it's very hard to be yourself. It's very hard. This is the most of me that I've ever been on this show.
Oh, first of all, I love it. Let me just say that.
And I'm loving it too. So thank you very much. And I'm learning a lot about me. I'm learning a lot about other people. And I'm liking me a little bit more. This show makes me like myself. Don't take me wrong. I don't go around hating myself, but I just, if I have a bad show on the Lex and Terry show, if things don't go right, if things don't, I just have this bar that I set for myself that, and I'll be honest, it's not unrealistic. These are not, hard things to do. Treat people with respect today, Terry. That's one of the things that I remind myself, And I can be one of these people, like if they call the radio show where I go, get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. Just isn't going with my vision of what the show is going, the way the show's going. So, letting myself down makes me not love myself very much. But like you said, there are aspects about myself that I truly love. And you said there are about you. What do you love about yourself?
I love my ability to be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's good.
What about you?
I know my heart is in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts about me that I get pretty emotional about people. I love people a lot, and I want them to succeed, and I will do anything I can to help others. And I like that about me. I like that I'm considerate. And Sherry will tell you that I'm considerate to a fault. My wife, Sherry, by the way, for those of you who know who I'm talking about. She, I will hold the door open for people at the mall or whatever for like 20 minutes while Sherry's in there shopping going, where are you? I said, well, I just got stuck holding the door for people. She goes, I'm in here. I'm your wife, right? You're supposed to kind of hang with me, things like that. But and I love that. And I love that I am becoming an extremely honest person. And it's not that I was lying before. I'm just becoming somebody who doesn't have time anymore for dishonest people, gossip, which I have done in the past. There's a lot of things that I've done in the past that I don't do anymore that have really changed my life. And I love that part of me.
You know what I love about you, Terry? I love that you are bold. And it really inspires me all the time.
What is your definition of bold? What does that mean?
I love that you have a vision for yourself and that you're not afraid to take steps towards that vision. A lot of people get stuck and they can't even take a first step. But you have boldness and the ability to take a first step and the ability to take a second step and to keep going. And, watching you over the years in your own sort of becoming in a way is bold. It takes a lot of boldness to get out here and be vulnerable and to share and to really dissect yourself. And I see you doing that. And I just really applaud you for that. I love your boldness. It's inspiring.
Well, thank you. Do you think some people though can go a little too far with that? excuse me. I have some friends who go to therapy a lot and work on themselves constantly to the point where I think they're like over, if this is even a word, over therapized. It's like, it's like, come on, man, just, go do something throughout the day that where you act on, instinct instead of what some therapist told you to do.
Well, going back to can you be too bold? I think that all comes to intention. And I feel that you have such a genuine intention about you, and people that are possibly, quote, too bold, their intention may be attention seeking rather than, connection, which is what I hear you saying you enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoy this type of stuff right now because there's a time that I didn't want to talk to people. There was a time that I just was so focused on what I wanted to do. If you didn't fit into the type of person that I wanted and needed to be around, I'd kick you to the curb. And I still have a little bit of that in me, and I think everybody needs that in them. Why waste your time with people that are going to bring you down, that are going to call you names, that are going to, tell you that you can't do something, or things like that. I don't have room for anybody like that in my life. But I just, I don't even know where I was going with this. This show here is making me, like I've said before, it's making me really like people. There's so many neat people out there that we all feel the same way. And I wanted to do this because I could get a bunch of celebrities to come on the show. In fact, some of them might end up calling eventually, but I'm not going to invite them. They're not, it's not that they're not welcome, but I just think that everybody in real life has got their own little celebrity status. I mean, you are great at what you do. You're one of the best out there. And everybody is really good at something. And I want to learn why they are. I want to learn what makes them tick, all that stuff.
I agree with you. And so I happen to call that, I happen to tell people that everyone has their own personal genius. Mm-hmm. And you just need to find it. And I think the path to your personal genius is through authenticity. And that's what you're doing right here. And that's what you're giving a space for other people to do and be, is authentic.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you're using that word, but it's also, don't you think it's kind of an overuse? It's everybody, how to do a YouTube show, how to do this, just be authentic and people will follow. No, that's not, I do think that if you get to a place where you're comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable with taking the heat or comfortable with saying something wrong or whatever, I think that adds to you, I guess, your authenticity, but I'm not striving to be authentic. I'm just striving to be, to connect. I guess maybe that, I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's no better word, I guess, than authentic.
You're doing a hell of a good job at being authentic for somebody that's not striving to be authentic.
Yeah, I don't wake up in the morning. It's not one of my checklists of today I'm going to be authentic, It
is mine. It is on my checklist every morning.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What else? Absolutely. What else is on that checklist? Because I'll share my checklist with you. I've got a few things every morning, and one of them is to show my wife somehow, without telling her, show her how much I love her. Mm-hmm. And that's one of them. What's one of yours?
So one of mine, I like to start my day by asking myself, what do I want to give? And then I also like to start my day by asking myself, what do I want to receive?
Ooh. How important is it to you? Hold on. How important is it to you because a lot of people are embarrassed and have a tough time with asking to receive something. What is your advice to somebody out there that, because we all want something. I'm one of these people. I would have a very hard time praying for something for myself. It's really hard to do. And I have a very hard time asking people. This is why I don't believe that I can do this on my own, this show on my own. I think I need somebody who's better at the back end of things, because I have a hard time asking for people to share the show and to like the show and to make a comment. Anytime I say it, it makes me feel gross. It makes me feel cheesy. It makes me feel like I'm begging. And, you know, and I see people doing it all time, you know, like this, do that. And I look at these people like, I know it's the game, but God, how can you do it?
Sounds like that's like out of integrity for you to ask then.
No, I never want to ask anybody for help, and I never expect help from anybody. And
so I used to be like that. I mean, I still have a very difficult time asking and receiving help. I'm a natural helper, but a couple of years ago, I got frozen shoulder and I couldn't wash my hair.
Yeah.
And I had to ask after days, I had to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so I've been on this journey the last couple of years of receiving. You know, helpers are allowed to receive help too.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I can't even ask Sherry if I'm sitting on the couch and she's in the at the refrigerator and I'm thirsty. I can't go, hey, could you bring me something to drink? I will never, ever, ever do that.
Why not?
I just don't do it. I love the fact, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that I'm capable of doing things myself.
You're an only child, right?
No, but I could have been. I should have been. I have two older brothers. Well, one's passed away, and an older sister, and they're all much older than I am. So I grew up in. They were all out of the house by the time I was growing up. My mother was 45 years old when she had me.
Do you think your level of independence comes from that sort of situation?
Well, I don't think it's because I was like an only child. I think it's because of my household. My father was in a wheelchair. I think I've talked about my father, you know, growing up, and he constantly needed help. So I'm always looking for ways to help others. I'm always looking for the person at the restaurant who needs the door held for him. I need to be, I mean, just before I did this, I went and got a coffee, and I saw this guy struggling to get in his car because he was an older gentleman, and he was stuck between the curb and the door and all this stuff. And he was having a hard time balancing himself. So I ran over there and held him, you know, without even thinking about it. And that's because of my father. That's because I've always, you know, I guess I grew up looking for where people needed a little bit of comfort, a little bit of help. And that is, you know, that's my reasoning right there. I don't think it's because I was an only child, you know.
But not allowing yourself to receive it, or having a difficult time receiving it yourself then.
Well, I don't think I need it yet. You know, that maybe I'll be, you know, listen, I do get a little frustrated when it comes to social media and when it comes to, you know, everybody that I know in this business, whether you're a stand-up comedian or an actor or somebody that you know, rock star, and I've got a lot of connections and I've made friends with a lot of these people. And I constantly support them online. I share their stuff. I tell our fans to follow them. And somebody brought it to my attention, you know, they never do that for you. And I got upset. I got upset, and that it's not reciprocal, that they're, you know, that they're just, I started to feel used because of what some person said to me. I never even noticed it because I really try to do things, or not even try. I think naturally I do a lot of things unconditional.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I believe in the golden rule, you know, do unto others. And I believe that. And when you don't see it coming back at you, it kind of hurts a little bit. And I started to dislike some of these people that I was supporting. And I noticed myself not sharing their stuff anymore because because one random person who I don't even know said this. And
it sounds conditional, though.
I know.
That sounds like your help is conditional.
I know. That's what I'm getting at. It's like, this was not a part of me. Now I'm looking at this going, well, fuck you. You know what? I'm here to support you, and you haven't done anything for me, you know?
Yeah, but you can't do that. If you're offering help, it's offered from like the purest of places of your heart, without expectation of
yes,
you know.
But
it's great if it's a friend.
But at the same time, it's somebody who's in the same industry and knows that this is the way the game works. You know that a nice place to, hey, follow my buddy's new show. It's it's really good. They never, they'd like to come on it, but they would never promote it. I don't get it.
Maybe they're a lot more or a little more selfish. Sounds like, and it sounds like just in the stories that you're sharing that you're selfless.
I don't know what the hell I am anymore, Kami.
Well, you know what you are. You're an awesome person, and I love the way that you've been blossoming. It's been a treat to watch, and I just think the world of you, and I think that you should just keep on keeping on, despite anybody else.
Well, back at you, and I would like to take this time and platform for you to tell everybody how they can find you. You've been on past shows of mine. You're fantastic. I love having conversations with you. I really do. I could talk to you all day long. But
ditto.
How can people find you?
PsychicKami.com. Easiest way. We're here on Facebook or really any other social media. Thank you for that moment, Terry. I really appreciate that.
And by the way, that's KAMI.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right, I will. I'm going to drop off here so you can talk to other folks. But thank you so much. It's been such a treat. I'll connect with you soon.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you. All right. That's cool that she was there. That's fun, isn't it? Let me put that number up again. Normally, I only try to do two a thing, but I kind of butchered the first one today. So let's put up another one. I'll find another question to do that. Let me find the number again. If you'd like to call, let me go with this show. There's the number. If you'd like to call again, I got room for another time for one more question. Here we go. Hey, what's your name?
This is Alison.
Hi, Alison.
Hello.
Let's see here. Whose voice do you think is going to be in your head when you're on your deathbed?
Probably my own. But no, to be serious,
no, that's a fair answer. That is a fair answer because I would probably feel the same thing. I don't know what that experience is going to be like. Hold on one second. Someone's calling. I don't know what that experience is going to be like. We are all going to experience it, and I hope it's going to be for a long time from now for both of us.
Well, I hope so.
but I like I was talking with Kami there a second ago. I think I'll be in my own head when it comes to that. How did I let people down? That is the saddest thing. That is so sad, but it's true. I probably am going to go out feeling like I let everybody down. I hope I could get over that, but between now and then.
I don't know if it would be so much for me if I let people down as it would be, did I make a difference or, more so about overthinking leaving people behind.
Yeah. It's so weird because, people are worried about their legacy a lot. And I've never been one to worry about that. I've had some great experiences. But I just know that a couple decades after you're gone, nobody's even going to remember you. Not even a couple, a decade.
I don't even give a damn if anybody remembers me. I just hope I make a difference.
Yeah. And I bet you have. Where do you think you've made a difference in other people's lives?
Well, I know for sure, not to be the whole cliche thing, but definitely in my husband. I really feel like it's one of those things where that is my ride or die. So we both came from like really not the best childhoods and stuff. And I really feel like we have done nothing but build each other up and we've really came so far. And so,
wow,
I think that's the biggest thing.
That's super cool. Do you have children?
I do not.
Did you want any?
very big dogs, and they're more or less get treated like children. And I don't know. You know, I always say no, and he's kind of in the same vein, but I also feel like if it happens type of thing. Excuse me.
Yeah. So you're at an
sorry
age
about that
you're at an age where it could happen and you know, and all that stuff still. So that's, you know, that's good that you have these options. Sherry and I
Yeah.
consciously made the decision not to have children and
Right.
have been very happy with that decision for the longest time until it's not like we're unhappy with it. I know Sherry's still happy with it. I am now getting to the stage of my life where I'm going, where it's had a lot of stress. I believe not having kids has made my life a lot less stressful because I see my friends worrying about it and money and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'd be a good parent or not. I kind of pussed out. I kind of took the easy way out. And now I feel that I'm paying for that decision in the way that I'm getting added stress to my life now, knowing that, as we're talking about death here, knowing that I really have to have my stuff together for Sherry before all of this happens. My goal is for her to not be mistreated, for her to have enough money to live on, because, you know, guys live less than, you know, shorter terms than women, and I'm a little older than her. So chances are I'm going first. And I just want to make sure she's taken care of. And there's no children there to make sure of that. So now I have to really work hard on money, and I have to try to buy my way into her being taken care of and finding the right people to do that. And that's one of my big goals right now. So,
Right.
so that's one of the downsides of not having a child that, you know, I don't know if that you'll ever think like that, but because Sherry's not, but I definitely am. So
I am way too young, but I do think about that kind of stuff.
yeah,
It's way too far in advance to really think about it. But I also have that battle. I want to make sure, because it's very much, we have support, but it's far away.
Yeah.
And somewhat intentionally. But I don't ever want that to be I don't want that to ever be any part of the reason why I would choose. And not to say that that's what you would do, but there's also no guarantee that the kid's going to be there either.
Oh, absolutely.
So
That's what Sherry reminds
know.
you. You sound just like my wife. You know, when we have these conversations, she goes, "Do you really think you can count on anybody's kid?" And then she starts running down a list of our friends that have children, and they're going, "That kid ain't going to be there for that person." It's very obvious. One thing I've learned is that when the chips are down and maybe somebody is really, and they're on their way out, the person that comes through for them is usually the person they never expected to come through for them. Their neighbor, one of their old friends from work, an ex-coach or a teammate or something like that. It's always that type of person. So,
right.
So I, maybe something like that would happen. I try not to dwell on it, but I blame Sherry for this because she's the one that said, "Who's gonna, I don't want to be abused." And that look in her eye, I've told the story many times. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, and I hope that there's a way to scale this show. There's a way to monetize it somehow, because I love doing this, and people are getting paid for stuff on YouTube. Why can't it be me? But
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for that reason. But if it happens, it would comfort me a lot knowing that, hey, there's some income coming in. I've told Sherry that if I go first and delete all of my social media, delete all these videos, delete all my podcasts, get rid of everything, and only keep them if it's something that makes you feel comforted and good, because I don't want to continue on. I don't want people. I don't need that. So you and your husband have lifted each other up. What is one of the best things that he has done to step up for you? What's a big moment that really stood out where you went, "Whoa, this guy, he is my ride or die"?
He, not to go into too depth because of some personal stuff, but there were some things that I went through before we ever met, and it's a very kept close to the heart. And it was one of those things that before we ever decided to get married, I wanted to talk to him about it. And we had gotten engaged and everything, and I literally just fell apart one day out of nowhere. It wasn't even in my mind, but I just absolutely fell apart. It was like 4:00 in the morning. And I was like, we have to have this conversation. And it was something that I have since, but at the time hadn't forgiven myself for. And he was able to look past that. And it's not something that everybody would just look past.
Yeah.
And I really needed that in my life to be able to move forward and feel like I was worth being loved.
Isn't it crazy how that is? I think you're not alone in that. I think everybody has some sort of dark moments, and to some, you know, what seems a dark moment for me may not even seem like a dark moment for other people, you know. But
right,
I think that there's a couple things that I regret in life, and I've handled a couple of those situations, and it's amazing the freedom you get when somebody, if you did something wrong to somebody or you mistreated them, and they've forgiven you.
Right.
There's really, you can move forward, and sometimes you definitely need something like that to move forward on, or you need somebody to say, I see you for who you are. You're a great person. I know that's not who you are right now, and I love you. And
right.
What a weight lifted off your shoulders, huh?
Oh, it was like a euphoric state for days. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just at a point in my life where I was like, I don't care what happens. Like I have to tell you this, or I can't function at this point. And I was like, I have to tell you. And, you know, and again, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was definitely like a week of talking and trying to figure it out and stuff. And, but I was just like, you know what? It's gone. It's over with. I don't even care anymore. It's off my shoulders. I can breathe.
Yeah.
And
what a great
but the other side of it was I felt the way before, but you know, knowing that it's all out on the table and I'd still have my ride or die, you know, so.
That's fantastic. I love hearing this. And I think that if anybody out there watching this or listening to this has something that's weighing on them, to be able to find, no matter what it is, to find a way to accept it and to deal with it and to find that kind of freedom that you found is something that really can propel your life forward. It really can. And I'm so glad that it worked out for you. And right there's a lesson for everybody that you've taught them. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to face some of your biggest fears, because great things can come from them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was not easy. I am here to tell you it was not easy. And it's always a work in progress for me. It's always something that I have to work at, but I don't feel alone.
Well, that's great.
And I felt alone for many, many years dealing with it. So,
and I hope that over time, it's just going to get easier and easier and easier for you. Alison, thanks for playing the silly little game today we call Make It Weird. That was good.
Yeah, I've been trying to get the balls to call for a couple of times now. So,
well, I appreciate you doing it. You were fantastic, and thanks for bearing your soul today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
All right, you too. All right, guys, there you go. I appreciate the calls. Thank you so much for participating today. Maybe I have a couple questions. If you're still there, I'd like to ask you guys right now if you could leave comments in the section of wherever you're watching this right now. What's a good time to do a show like this? Do you think this is a better nighttime show? Do you think this is a better daytime show? Mixing it up in different hours and days. Let me know what you think is really good. Not necessarily what works for your schedule. What do you think a good time and day to do this show, you know, vibe-wise? So please let me know on that. And guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.